Okay, so meanwhile, I'm making the plug longer. This is what it came with for wire. And that's not long enough. Now, if I didn't jump the gun and epoxy it, because I thought it was going to be long enough, to be honest with you, I could have just undid the whole thing and rewired it. Now, there is a relay here, so I have to add to that. So as long as I have to add length, I might as well just add length. And that's all there is to it. So, I mean, it'll be just as good. You know, we'll use the heat shrink and everything like we're supposed to. But I just would have rather had it you know, wired without any splices. Splices leave room for moisture and breakage. But at that point, we'll just play it one hand at a time. And we'll get it done. We'll have a splice, but it's going to be under the hood and tucked up underneath, and it'll be wire tied, so it's not like it's going to be a big deal. It's just that I'd rather not have a splice. But for me to do it now, it would be a pain in the ass. And for what little bit I may be gaining, it isn't really worth it, you know. Because when you splice them together and you solder them and you heat shrink them, you're going to have just as good a connection, if not better. I mean, a weld is usually better than the actual piece, so, you know. Okay. So now I got to find a yellow and a green, because I do want to follow the colors. I thought. Well, I do have green. I know that. The yellow could be a problem. What's this? Why didn't I remember that I had all that? Alright, so let's get the green. The green. However, I haven't got green heat shrink, but I don't need green heat shrink. We'll just use black. There. And this is marine grade wire, so it'll put up with the elements. Now this is the relay, so let me see here. This should be more than enough, just half of these. I don't have to keep wasting heat shrink, even though I have enough of it at this point. Okay, now I gotta find a yellow. Now that one could be a pain in the butt. The yellow can be a pain in the butt.
And then all of a sudden it was, oh my God, this is real. This is happening. And I'm going to be a father.
Let's look down here. In my small wire. That yellow, I have yellow, but it's not long enough. Let's see.
That was made by Heather and I that is about to enter.
I would prefer to keep it the same.
I'm scared.
But it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
This thing is hard. Oh, fine. God. Heather, I got it.
So if it's not going to happen, any color but red or black. Because it's a relay, so I don't want a red or black wire to get mixed up with it. So we're gonna do white.
Put in their budget and desired location in the MLS. 0 matches come up. Do you know any pockets? Ooh, actually, I ran into Mark Silver. He might have a few things for you. This house is perfect for them. The owner spent a ton of money remodeling it. It's a great location.
I mean, I know what it is.
What else do you need?
There we go. Turn the gizmo. Now, what I do with the here it is.
I'm gonna kill somebody else or myself. Hey, John. How's it going? Good to see you as always. Hi, Mark.
Kelly,
Nice
nice to meet you.
Hi, Troy. Nice
We
to
may
meet you.
have-
Welcome you. Thanks so much for coming today.
You know what? I got some
So I'm really excited to show you the house.
yellow tape, so I can put some yellow tape at the end of it
So the house was built in the 60s.
if I really
but my
need
plan
to.
was
I need another
completely
piece for the other side.
Everything flows from the living room here into the dining area into the kitchen.
So I got to
And
put
again,
2 pieces
everything
on
here has
each
been
one.
completely remodeled recently, so it's all brand new.
Okay, it's small for me, but it's okay. At least it's new. I actually cook.
Very good.
We'll get a house before we can start cooking.
Okay.
Oh, this is nice.
I got some loom around here too,
I
someplace.
don't know if there's enough room though for all my food.
So,
Definitely.
alright, so now let me get these on up here, so when I'm done, I can solder everything.
The garage is in here. Now she's converted this to
So, meanwhile,
Oh wow.
there's no garage door.
the day of buzz continues.
So the garage door is actually
It's starting to get chilly out there too, especially from coming in from out here. I mean, it's not too bad out, really.
cars in here. Got a lovely
There's a call coming through. It's windy, so I'm hoping there's no fires today.
I don't think it's going to be too much work. I think it's going to be a matter of taking the drywall down, putting the little guys in, putting the chandelier down.
Green.
Whether they're serious about
Green,
buying
green,
or
green,
they have
green, green,
reservations,
green.
that I'm not quite sure about. It's 50-50 at this point.
Take a look at this
As I was saying, I hope
Lovely.
there's no fires today because it's windy.
Power lines. There's no houses beneath us. It's really private. I like it.
I think this is a great house for you guys.
I'm just concerned about the square footage. It's only 3 bedrooms.
The kitchen's a bit small, but it's made up for its cost.
Do you need more bedrooms?
I don't know if you need it, but it's nice to have.
I've shown her every option on the planet, and she says no to everything.
Okay.
I usually show my clients one house and we knock it
Well, let's
down.
try the paste. Where did I do with the paste? There it is. I can paste all these at once.
It's gonna take a
I
couple of
really
days.
don't think that it's such a
Too much
big deal.
paste. Ah!
The main point is just see if you like the house, if you like the floor plan, if you like the feel, if you have the privacy you want, the view.
I think we have
Garage Prairie, 41 Red Hill Road, Leak Down Road, Fall Prairie.
Red Hill Road. That's where my gun club is.
Tracy,
How are ya?
good, good.
Ooh.
See you too.
Paste, paste, paste everywhere.
So,
Did you hear with some good news today, or what's going on?
well,
Paste, paste, paste.
I don't listen
So we
to
should have
myself.
4 plus 2. That's what we
I
have.
said
Because the reds, I'm going to put eye hooks on them.
don't get the
Now let me separate them enough
on the property that I wanted to
so I can solder them. Well, I did. Now let's get
Everything that you
some
feel like
solder.
as many people through this door as possible.
Yes, and that brings me to the next point. We have an open house. I called every single person that came to the house that day. And
Yeah, let's get some solder going here.
And the overwhelming feedback is that everybody absolutely loves the house.
So what's the problem?
That's
The solder works much
They have a
better.
hard time.
That silver solder is good, but
They have a hard time
it could be a
with
pain in the
the
ass.
price and being close to 3.9 million. I really feel at this time we got to take advantage of where we are in the market. We got to reduce it to 3.5.
I'm not comfortable with that number at all. Tracy, 3.5, I can't justify that to people that have a stake in these. How am I gonna go back there and tell them, look, it's been 2 weeks and we have to go down by 10%? There's no way that I can convince these people to say, hey, you know what, that's a good idea.
I understand what you're saying. We need to make an impact. That's what it's about. If we don't make an impact and these little reductions along the way, that everybody is always more comfortable with. It just looks like we're just a continually reducing property that no one likes. We make a reduction one time, we make it big, and we make an impact on the market. I guarantee you there will be people in the door.
There's no way I can work with that number, Tracy. I can't justify it.
I'm telling you, we're not getting the right feedback. I want to sell this house for you, but I mean, if we can't agree even on a reduction, I just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not the right broker for you.
I appreciate your honesty. I think I'm gonna have to explore my options.
Thank you for your time. He's just completely unreasonable. This is the guy that I sat down with, prepared him, told him where we needed to be. Erica, yeah, cancel all the marketing for Crescent Heights. Not
All right.
easy, not willing to
Now,
budge, but
here we go.
that's Devin blaming me. I'm out. I'm out.
Shrink, shrink. I'm shrinking. I'm whistling through my teeth. Oh, shrinking. How much shrink would a heat shrink shrink if a heat shrink could shrink shrink? Alright. So, ta-da! So now this side, I'm going to put a couple of lids on it like this.
Just 8 weeks. And thanks to Future, my big guy's catching up.
Treat yourself at Macy's One Day Sale with incredible deals of the day. We've got them. Designer dress shirts, $39.99. Grab these luggage closeouts and save 65%. Plus designer pillows, only $6.99. Macy's One Day Sale, Friday and Saturday.
Get a little solder. Can I get away with no? Yeah, I can. Good. There's still some on the tip. Good. Okay, now let's find some. Let's close this before I knock it over. Now I need blue. Blue. I need blue with a bigger loop. Okay. I need a bigger blue.
Now you bid for $6 a burger. Choose out of the $6
I know I got them there. Let's find out what drawer they're in.
Or choose from the 2 for $6 mix or match deal. Make your best pick for 6. Only at Burger King.
Okay. Miscellaneous blue. Oh, now these are too big. Well, I either got too big or too small. That's way too big. I don't want that. So we are going to change our game plan here. We are going to go with yeller all the way around. And I wonder if I can save those two.
Is this your fiance house?
Yeah, we chaired an event
No.
for Cedar Sinai this year. We were the co-hosting.
He's amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah, it was pretty cute. Anyway, what should we do, kids?
Have you spoken to the agent to see how much flexibility there is?
Hallelujah. Thanks to the gods of real estate or the gods of rock and roll.
No, I don't think I
Elliot
can.
Troy has
I
settled
don't
on a
want
house.
to go too big.
Oh my God.
It's not going to fit right.
I think this is a great house for you guys. My gut instinct is to come in at $1,950,000 out. This saw it has much room. I think if we came in any lower, they probably wouldn't respond.
I was thinking somewhere in the 1/8, maybe, lower end.
I got the perfect size, but I don't know if this wire is going to fit. Red is pushing it. Oh, it does. Perfect. All right.
negotiate with you about it.
Now, of course I'll do whatever you want, but I would still recommend we come in at $1,950.
$50,000 is less than a week in Bora Bora. Let's get the hell. Please, I can't do this anymore.
I don't know where you're staying in Bora Bora.
Fabulous places.
Okay, let's go on one night.
But I thought, you know, right, let me speak to the agent. I'll call him right now. Call him.
Looked at on that one.
How are you?
Hey, Josh, good. What's going on?
So I'm sitting here with my clients in my office, and I want to talk to you about Beverly Ridge. We're willing to come with a strong offer, but we do not want a big negotiation. $1,950,000. We'll put it in writing today.
Josh, the asking is $2 million. You know that.
Look, we've done deals before, you know what I'm around. This is a really strong offer. $1,950,000, all cash, and with no to the 5-day contingency period. Just call your client, call me back. I have my clients waiting in this office right now, and I want to get this deal done.
Give me a few minutes. I'm going to call you back.
Okay. There you go. Do we have a backup plan?
No, we haven't really seen anything else that checks as many boxes as Beverly Ridge.
So then we really need to focus on this house and get this done.
I do.
I'm asking for a 10-day close. Even if you're not going to really close in 10 days, 12, 15 days, ask for an extension. You just have something really tempting in front of your face. And then
Okay.
ask for 20 days. Hello, Mark.
So there we go. Broken hearted.
Okay. Fantastic. Mark, thank you so much. I'll get the papers right over to you right now. Bye-bye. God bless.
I want to get rid of that red tip.
Amazing.
So we're good to go. Let's get the paperwork over to them.
We're done. Finally.
We finally made it.
Put some black paint on it so it doesn't show red. Any color but red, because I don't want to have two red tips and just go by that. I want to make sure that the wire is prominent, red to red and black
Judy, what
to
were you
black.
doing when you found out Alexis was coming?
You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? So let's put the black right there.
Big moment. This is a life-changing
You know, it's always a chore.
moment. But deep down, I'm freaking out right now.
Nothing is easy anymore. Would it have hurt them to give you a few extra feet, or even a foot? If this wire was a foot instead of 2 foot, rather instead of a foot, I wouldn't have to add. But so they go by good business, but and good profit margins, but screw everything else. Oh, wait a minute, can't put those on yet. I gotta put the power on. So, let me see. Battery.
I thought I would know, but it felt like it's unexplainable. It's unexplainably the greatest moment ever. Looking at her, she's so amazing, so beautiful, beautiful little baby. All the stuff that I thought was important before just took a backseat. This is the greatest thing in the world. Still to come on this season of $1 Million Listing Los Angeles. Craziest house ever. Oh, holy. This is an estate. This is like the White House. I did not expect it to look anything like this.
If I had to go, I would fall in love and buy it from you. It's one of those houses that I can sell like this.
Does the snapping help?
See, now I have an option as to where I want to put this, the relay. Where before I had no options. I was kind of like just stuck wherever it wanted to be as far as wire length.
Most in an entire lifetime. And we were just at the beginning. You take Josh to sleep together with him alike, powered by faithfulness and devotion.
Now, if it was an ATV, I guess everything is fine,
For one of the new developments that's coming up in LA.
but it's not.
Support. And the developer's calling you. You can't get
I'm going to take this and bring it over this way.
Trust me, I tried. It doesn't work.
Yeah,
It's
good.
not all about working, and then
Alright, let's tighten these up for now.
So we know that there's mold here. The number's $100,000. This is not a replacement
Yeah, the other day I was up at Tractor Supply,
Hanukkah for me.
and I bought a set of those ratchet wrenches. You know what I mean? I used to have them before when I had my shop.
Because I'm the new listing agent on it. Now you know.
Yeah, I did a lot in my life, but meanwhile, we all have, I'm sure.
Go to BravoTV.com. Previously,
There.
$1 million listing.
So I bought a set of them there because they had them on that little, sucker shelf when you walk in the door.
$1,950,000.
So I said, oh, let me buy a set. All right, now I got enough wire. Now I got enough wire. Now if I can find the loom, I'll be all set.
I'm telling you, we're not getting the
But
right
meanwhile,
deal. We can't
as I
agree
was
even
saying,
on a reduction. I don't know, maybe I'm just not the right broker.
there's like 5 of them.
I think I'm gonna have to explore my options.
Oh, $14 or whatever it is. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, and they slip, and they lock up, and they don't work. You gotta bang it. I never had those problems with snap-ons. But again, the snap-ons are a few dollars more, as we know. But I never had that problem with snap-on. So, and not that I want to go out and spend a lot of money for snap-on tools. It's just that I want the tools to work when I want them to work. And now I'm looking for something that I was going to use to mount this on, and now I can't find it. So I was talking with
Well, this is exciting.
one of the guys at the shop, at the garage. They have a snap-on and a Mac.
We get our foot in the front door now.
So I'm talking to him about these. He says, you know what?
Guess what? Any of these buildings that start going up in
If you want, I'll just have them stop by your house. Open up a truck account. Which is easy. Usually they give you like a $300 truck account. Which really isn't too bad. You can pay it off 25 a week or whatever, or pay it off or give them whatever you want that week. They're pretty lenient that way. And I'm thinking, you know what? I don't need a lot of tools from them, but I do have a few snap-ons that are shot, that are